Asylum Inc. presents Hunter's Guide. Quatall, the flesh, rejects the change. Ah, you've returned. Or perhaps you've merely stumbled in, twitching and wide-eyed, drawn by the scent of rot and revelation. No matter, you're here now. Tell me, have you ever watched a man molt? Not shed his skin in some poetic metaphor, no. I mean truly slough off, in clumps of twitching, mucus-laced tissue. Watched him croon in fevered bliss as something else writhes beneath, eager to meet the air. Then let us begin. Tonight's specimen is no myth, no cryptid born in a backwoods fever dream. It has a name, a sound, a presence. Quatall, codename the Failed Ones. The Quatall pathogen is no generous patron. It is a cruel artisan, a bioalchemical tyrant that reshapes its chosen with merciless precision. It sculpts not for beauty or benevolence, but for dominance, fashioning sinew, marrow, and mind into something wholly other. Those who fail to withstand the crucible, whose frail human matter recoils from the transfiguration, are not spared. They are left behind, abandoned relics of aborted evolution. These are the Failed Ones, misshapen parodies of what might have been. Their bodies mutilated by the unfinished work of the pathogen's hand. Their flesh is blistered and mottled, drawn tight over malformed frames. Bones jut from unnatural angles as if trying to escape. Tumors bulge and writhe beneath tissue, thinned to translucence. And in places, grotesque ridges of calcified, serrated plating hint at the Quatall form that nearly was. Evidence of a metamorphosis interrupted. But let no one mistake these broken creatures for the sluggish, slack-jawed dead of archaic horror tales. They are alive and in agony. The pain never ceases. It consumes them, hollows them out, and drives them to wild, unrelenting spasms of violence. Some have surrendered entirely to the torment, lashing out without aim or reason, their only instinct the spreading of their affliction. Others, more dangerous still, remember. Behind their luminous Quatall blue eyes, you may catch the glimmer of something human, smothered beneath layers of pain and madness. They will reach out, they will speak, they will beg for mercy, whisper promises, plead for help. But do not be drawn in. Whatever tattered remnant clings to consciousness within them is not asking for salvation. It is luring you closer. First-hand account, they begged me to kill them. At first, I mistook them for survivors. Their forms were draped in rags, torsos trembling with feverish convulsions, yet they still bore the tragic semblance of humanity. Pale hands reached out from the smoke, fingers twitching with unnatural spasms, and their mouths worked through trembling lips to shape words nearly devoured by distortion. "Help us," one rasped. A woman, perhaps, though the sound was thick with phlegm and something else, something wet and alive. The plea gurgled from her throat like oil forced through a broken valve. "Please," I hesitated, a step from compassion, and that's when I saw her. She was hunched against the jagged wreckage of a collapsed structure, her frame shuddering beneath a veil of soot and shadow. At first, I thought she was crouching in pain, but then I saw it. Her spine had ruptured outward in jagged arcs, as if her back had attempted to bloom. Her ribs had curled open like insect wings frozen mid-metamorphosis, twitching as if uncertain whether to close or fly. She turned her head toward me, rotating far beyond any natural limit, vertebrae popping like wet knuckles, and offered a smile, stretched too wide across a face still trying to remember how to wear one. Then they moved. Those who still possessed legs that could bear weight lunged forward, but it was not human motion. It was dragged, as if some unseen puppeteer had jerked their tendons taut. One collided with me, its hand, bone protruding from blistered knuckles, knocking my rifle aside with terrifying force. It tried to speak again, but the words emerged in bubbles from a throat that had half sunken into the fused collarbone, gurgling with every breath like a drowning man trying to pray. I fired, a full clip, into its chest. It made no difference. Even as it crumpled, the meat beneath its flesh writhed, squirming in silent rebellion, desperate to reshape itself, to finish what had begun. And then she moved. The woman with the ruptured back scuttled forward on limbs that had grown too long, knees bending wrong, hands dragging lines in the dust. Her voice slipped between dimensions, echoing not through the air, but inside my skull. "I tried to stop it," she moaned, eyes unfocused but fixed directly upon me. I tried to keep him out. I burned her. I didn't think. I couldn't afford to. Fire was the only thing that silenced the shifting, and even then, I swear I saw something beneath her skin recoil, not in pain, but in disappointment. Final warning: no cure, no mercy. There is no salvation here, no antidote, no reversal, no absolution from what has taken root. The infection, if it can even be called that, is not a mere biological affliction. It is a corruption, primordial and deliberate, a rewiring of sinew and thought, a reprogramming of the self. The Quatol pathogen does not mend or mutate. It rewrites, carving flesh into its own indecipherable script, warping cognition into something unrecognizable. It does not love its hosts. It does not even acknowledge them. The end result is all that matters. Those who fail the transformation, whose bodies break before the reshaping is done, are cast aside like spoiled clay, grotesque remnants, echoes of what might have been. But even in that state of aberrant incompletion, they serve a purpose. They crawl, they bleed, they whisper. They radiate the contagion like dying stars, shedding malignant light. They stagger toward the uncorrupted, arms open in grotesque mimicry of supplication, drawing the unwary closer, always closer, until escape is no longer possible, until the change begins anew. And the most appalling truth of all, some want it, not because they are misled, no, because they have seen what comes after, and it called to them. Do not place your faith in military steel, in science, in prayer. No surgical precision or God-born miracle can undo what has already seeped into the world. The only response is fire, unrelenting and pure, ammunition in abundance, a mind unclouded by sympathy. If you find yourself among them, if the air carries the wrong kind of silence and the light feels thick, you must act. Do not hesitate. Do not listen. Do not pity. The moment you acknowledge their suffering is the moment it enters you. Because what you see now, these mewling wrecks, these stunted horrors, is merely the first step. The second step is worse. The second step is still out there, waiting, watching, and next time it might not fail. Oh, you hoped it would end there, didn't you? That the spasms would stop, the weeping would scab over, and the thing inside would go quietly into the dark. But you've seen the footage now, you've read the vitals, and you've heard, yes, heard, the wet sound of something new being born through a borrowed body. Quatol is not a disease, it is a decision, and somewhere out there, someone is making it for you. Sleep tight, darling patients, and if your dreams itch, don't scratch, we'll be watching. If you found yourself stirred, unsettled, or just a bit more wary of shadows, consider offering a like to feed the entity that powers these tales. And should you subscribe, you may yet survive to hear the next whisper from the void.